Hi there, I'm with Amanda, who's the Bristol branch secretary with the RMT. And Amanda, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit, we've been getting a lot of support from people going by today. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about the wider context of why this matters to everybody and not just to rail staff.
Well, basically we live in a society that was created by all of our ancestors, and as such we all deserve to be able to afford shelter, healthy food and rents that are just not extortionate if we decide we don't want to buy a house. At the moment, the inequality there is huge, and all it seems to do is feed those landlords who have massive portfolios, rental portfolios, keep them rich and stop younger people from actually getting onto the housing ladder if they so wish. Mental health is affected. If you're on a 0-hour contract and you've got rents and you can't afford to pay your rents, you then get a culture within your workplace where the standards are low. You are beholden to your manager. You're not allowed to speak out. You're silenced, because if you do speak out, then you're likely to not get the shifts. You're likely to lose your job. So then, for that reason, the standards are driven down, and we want to change that. We want to keep our terms and conditions in the RMT that have been fought for. We want to keep our pensions without any reforms. We're not opposed to modernisation, and we want a pay rise for everybody, every single working person in this country. If you raise the standard of living for one, you raise it for all, and to believe that we're out here for ourselves is the biggest misconception that there is. We are here for everybody. As you can see, we're supported by everybody as well.
Brilliant, thank you, Amanda. Now, it's really interesting, I was listening to the Papers show last night, and one of the ladies on there commentating was telling a kind of heartfelt story about a lady she met on the bus getting to work, and how this lady had to travel 3 hours to work and back every day and needed her buses and her transport, and what poor wages she got. She didn't have a union standing up for her, but she's going to suffer in the rail strike, this lady was saying, or in any transport strike. Ordinary people suffer when workers go on strike. So she was trying to basically say that your strike is against ordinary people. What do you say to people when they make this line of argument?
I say to them, have they got a sick scheme? Have they got a holiday scheme? Do they get maternity pay? Do they have a canteen? Because those are the things that unions have fought for, and we are not going to lose them. We are determined not to. And if somebody has to get up an hour early to get to work, then I don't think it's a huge price to pay to hold on to those rights that somebody else has stood on a picket line and fought for. She has grandchildren, that elderly lady, I'm sure. Do they go to school? Do they have weekends off? Because if it wasn't for picket lines, they'd be down the mine. They wouldn't have weekends off. We want a society where parents are off with the children at weekends, not working overtime, Saturday, Sunday, rest days, in order at one time to be able to afford to go to the cinema or to go on holiday. Now it's just to pay the fuel bills, petrol, healthy food. You can forget that now. In Morrison's, all of the value range is flying off the shelves. It's affecting everybody, and for people to just think it's about a pay rise, it's about human rights. The right to shelter, the right to affordable rent, the right to earn a wage, to actually survive in a society that all of our ancestors created, not just the ancestors of those directors who are on £400,000, £500,000 a year, and when we had a pay freeze, they had the equivalent to a year's salary that we get as a pay rise.
Beautiful, thank you. Well, from the communists, I'd like to pass on our message to you guys, which is that we really recognise the importance of workers struggling together, organising, because the only way we can show our power, use our power, is together, is organised collectively. And if we're not using it, we're losing it. anything we're not defending in a capitalist society, we are losing. And we've been witnessing that for 40 years. You know, how much lower does the working class have to get before it turns around and starts to fight? We're really conscious that the rail workers are right at the front line of a very important struggle right now. We know this winter people are going to be choosing heating or eating, and many of them won't even be able to choose either of those. You know, look in the way the prices are going, inflation crisis, all the rest of it, which the ruling class has created but wants us to pay for. So we recognise very much that this is all of our fight, and we're absolutely with you, and we hope you're going to stick it out to the end. Thanks very much.